Hello, my name is Robert Rosignol, and I am doing my speech today on children's addiction to smartphones and the negative result on their well-being. This is for Cornerstone University. Class is Introduction to Communications. Okay, so how many of people out there actually own a smartphone? Okay, now the same people, how many of you have children who also own a smartphone and use it all once a day? Smartphones are a great invention and really can cut down on the time needed to do things on the go. However, what are smartphones doing to our kids? And how is their addiction to smartphones affecting them physically and mentally? Now, smartphones in history are relatively a newer object. They've only been around for 20 years or so. They started back in 1992 when IBM came up with a prototype mobile phone that incorporated the PDA features like email and messaging. In 1994, Bell South came up with a more refined version of this phone, and they called it the Simon Personal Communicator. In 2007, Steve Jobs revealed the first Apple iPhone, which is the standard for smartphones today. Now, according to Paula Thompson's Nomophobia and Smartphone Addiction Among Children on the World of Psychology webpage, more than 90% of U.S. citizens own a smartphone. Of those people, 67% check their smartphones for calls, text messages, and social media activity, even if the phone's not ringing. 4% of smartphone owners sleep with their phone next to their bed to make sure they do not miss a call, text message, or social media alerts during the night. 1 in 3 kids will become addicted to smartphones. And 29% of people cannot even imagine their life without their smartphone. Parents today who both work outside of the home are known to use smartphones and other electronic devices as babysitters for their kids while they're doing house chores or making dinner or just want time to themselves. They just hand their kids a smartphone or a tablet and, hey, go play with this for a while. The addictive use of smartphones is defined as the psychological dependence on smartphones, as well as dysfunction in daily life resulting from the excessive use of a smartphone. Children today are exposed at a much younger age to electronics, smartphones, and computers. Now, when I was a kid, we didn't have smartphones, and I'm not even that old. But the kids today, they're pretty much born with smartphones in their hands. Children as young as 2 years old are starting to use tablets and smartphones on a daily, regular basis. Kids cannot even do their schoolwork without the use of the internet and/or a computer or smartphone. These devices have been found to become very addictive and very damaging to a developing child's well-being. In that same report from Thompson, there are several different dangers that can happen to kids, especially from smartphone usage. They start to have restless nights of sleep, high levels of anxiety, social isolation, nervous breakdowns, and weight changes, both gaining and losing of the weight, insomnia, and anger. The excessive use of smartphones can lead to several different mental and physical impairments. Smartphone addiction among young children degrades function of the right brain by brain balance according to brain wave tests. the function of the frontal lobe in brains, which relates to the ability to think and judge and concentrate, is damaged so that normal brain development is hindered when use of smartphones is very addictive in children. Some research has even found that overuse of cell phones can result in ADHD. Smartphones have a close relationship also with depression, anxiety, impulsiveness, and lack of control in children. And finally, the light emitted from the screens of cell phones can actually damage the vision of the eyes in kids whose eyes are still trying to develop properly. Now, I'm not saying that smartphones in general are bad or that you should not use them at all or let your kids use them at all. What I am saying is that parents today need to monitor the use of smartphones and other electronics with their kids, and they really should have some sort of censored, like, child locks on them too as to what they're able to see and do on these electronic devices. Well, I hope that this has been a very informative speech, and I thank you for your time.